I hustle for my last name. You gotta understand, when you have a girl, they give away your last name.
Right.
My sons, I'm just thinking about, man, we got all our last names. It's just gonna be huge.
Future definitely loves playing football. Wynn just started playing football. Future can spin that ball. Like the way, like I watched Russ teach him how to throw a ball, and it's crazy to see like how he done. Like it's just in him, and he can play baseball really well. Baseball is like his jam. Like
They saying Future is about to drag Ciara back into court, and word on the streets is it's all because Russell Wilson allegedly went and adopted baby Future. Yes, you heard that right, the rapper's own son. This rumor got everybody's jaw on the floor. Now imagine this picture. Ciara, the R&B princess, glowing up with her NFL hubby, stacking kids, posting prayer captions, and living like the cover of a black Hallmark card. Right there in the middle of every perfect family post is little Future Zahir, her firstborn. Since day one, Russell been out here playing super stepdad like he signed a lifetime contract, football games, birthday parties, even those cringy but cute family TikToks. He really made it look like that boy was his flesh and blood. But swing the camera to the other side and here comes the storm. Future, the biological dad. And let's keep it real, his co-parenting with Ciara been messy since forever. The shade has flown in interviews, the slick talk on Twitter, the back and forth legal smoke. It's been a whole saga. Ciara even sued him for defamation at one point. So you already know the tension been bubbling heavy. And now, here's where it gets extra messy. Blogs are buzzing that Russell didn't just act like the dad, he allegedly went and made it official. That's right, adoption papers. If that's true, this ain't just about parenting anymore. This is about pride, ego, and the court stepping in. Soon as that paperwork talk and adoption rumors started buzzing, the internet lit up like wildfire. The only confirmed receipt so far, baby Future's legal name change. He now got Wilson stamped right next to his government name. And trust me, that little switch is bigger than just a name. That's Russell basically planting a flag saying, this is my son now.
Right, and you're married and everything else and loving, it's like, you gotta love every single child as if they're yours. Right, that's been the greatest gift of raising Future and Sienna and Wynn and now Mora, you know, in 2 months. It's like, man, God gave me that opportunity to raise them and to love them and to care for them and teach them and to love them as every day, you know, that way. And there's no difference, there's no difference in it. Yeah, I think to me it's the greatest gift, and knowing that that's the responsibility to raise these 4 beautiful children all together in this. And we all come from blended families a lot of times. We all come from different this and that, but it's to be able to be one. And that's been the best part of raising these kids with C and everything else. And just seeing Future smile, shooting hoops with Steph Curry, and seeing Sienna do her gymnastics.
You know his ego was never built to handle that kind of move. This is the same man who calls himself Pluto, Hendrix, the Wizard. His entire image screams legacy and father figure, even when the baby mama's out here telling a whole different story. So imagine another man, and not just any man, but a high-profile NFL quarterback stepping into that father role on paper. That's the type of shot that'll have him sprinting to the courthouse with pen in hand. And here we are, staring at the next messy chapter, Ciara, Russell, and Future tangled up in a 3-way tug-of-war over one little boy. Officially, it's about last names, custody papers, and signatures, but behind all that legal talk, it's about pride, about legacy, and about who really gets to wear the crown of dad. The wildest part, Future might be the one dragging Ciara into court, but the internet already dragged him. While he's out here fighting to prove he's daddy number 1, half the timeline clowning him, saying, sorry sir, Russ claimed that spot years ago. And now comes the spin cycle, because sis, the PR war is running louder than the court filings themselves. On one side, you got Ciara and Russell, the Wilson household. And baby, their image shines so polished it's blinding, like fresh Easter Sunday shoes. Ciara out here posting family photos, dropping prayerful captions, and hitting those cute dance videos with the kids. Russell, he reposts it all with his chest out, #GirlDad, stepping into that father role like it was written in stone. To them, this ain't drama, this is family. And here's the kicker. The adoption rumors, whether true or not, only feed the brand they've been building for years. Ciara prayed for a man who would step up, and boom, Boom, she got one. The Wilson PR machine is loving every second, eating it up like Thanksgiving dinner. But now swing the lens over to Future and the vibe flips fast. Publicly, he ain't posting picture-perfect daddy moments. He's leaning on subliminals, dropping those cryptic tweets about loyalty, tossing IG stories about real ones versus clout chasers. You already know how he moves. Toxic king in the booth, mysterious sage on the timeline. But let's not play. The blogs are decoding every word. Future feels disrespected. Future feels replaced. Future is ready to fight back. And don't sleep on the media either. Mainstream outlets push the Wilsons as the ultimate family goals. Ciara, the saint who escaped the toxic ex and built her fairy tale life. But the gossip blogs, they're the ones stirring the pot, splashing headlines like Future drags Ciara to court even when the paperwork ain't that simple. Why? Because messy headlines sell, and they sell big. Now the fans are torn right down the middle. Ciara's crew cheering, "Yes, Queen, protect your peace. Give baby Future the stability he deserves." Russell stands hyping him up as daddy of the year, the man proving what real manhood looks like. But then you got Future's Hive. Future's Hive, the Pluto disciples, they ain't letting this slide. They're yelling loud, "That's his son," and calling out Russell for overstepping while painting Ciara as the villain who iced Future out of the picture. On the flip side, you got a quieter crew sitting in the middle. Folks who love all three of them but can't ignore how public this mess has gotten. They're whispering that maybe this whole fight ain't really about love or loyalty at all. Maybe it's about image. Who looks like the better parent in the court of public opinion? Who controls the narrative when baby Future grows up, types his name in Google, and sees this circus? For Ciara and Russ, the spin is all about stability and family unity. For Future, it's betrayal and disrespect. And for the blogs, it's ratings and clicks. Because this saga plays out like a soap opera with no ending in sight. But here's the kicker. When you weigh all that spin against Future's track record, that's when things get tricky. And the reason this fresh round of court drama feels so believable, because let's be real, Future and Ciara's story been tangled from the jump. Every new chapter has only fed into the messy narrative. Remember when Ciara and Future looked like the perfect power couple? Dropping music collabs, shutting down red carpets, even flashing that engagement ring like they were about to run the industry as the next big duo. But before wedding bells could ever ring, it all fell apart. Allegedly, Future couldn't stay faithful. Ciara walked away, baby Future on her hip, and just like that, the fairy tale turned into a cautionary tale stamped in headlines forever. That breakup lit the fuse for nearly a decade of non-stop shade. Future, being Future, never stayed quiet. He jumped on Twitter with subliminals, dropped bars in songs that fans swore were shots at Ciara and Russell. Remember when he claimed Ciara was using Russ as a prop? That wasn't just lyrics, that was his ego talking loud. Ciara didn't sit back either. She clapped back with a lawsuit, defamation filings, straight black and white, proving she wasn't just gonna sing about heartbreak, she was ready to fight for her peace in court. Those cases eventually settled, but they left a mark. Future stamped as the loud, bitter ex, and Ciara framed as the one fighting to protect her peace. But here's where it gets even messier. Future's own track record as a dad been a scandal reel on its own. 8 kids, 8 different women, and more than one of them out here publicly accusing him of being inconsistent, late on support, or straight up absent. That pattern made Ciara's move toward Russell look not just romantic, but smart. She wasn't only running toward love, she was running away from a cycle the streets had already peeped. And that's why these Russell adoption rumors hit the culture so hard. It feels like the final stamp on what people already knew. Russell been daddy. He's the one tossing the football, showing up to birthdays, sitting courtside holding that little boy's hand. The paperwork, if true, is just the legal side catching up to the reality everybody already saw. For Future though, that's a dagger to the heart. His whole rap persona thrives on legacy, on flexing fatherhood, on being prolific, and for his firstborn to carry another man's last name, that cut runs deep. Now answering to Wilson, that's way bigger than a simple name swap. That's a full-on legacy swap. And don't think the other baby mamas ain't watching from the sidelines. Some of them have already thrown low-key shade online, hinting that Ciara's glow-up with Russell exposed what Future never gave: consistency. The optics here are wild. One woman took Future's chaos, upgraded, and now her son's last name carries the weight of a whole NFL dynasty. That type of symbolism, it flips messy co-parenting into straight-up cultural folklore, and here's where it gets juicier. This ain't just a Future and Ciara story. This is a blueprint in celebrity culture. The messy ex, the clean-cut stepdad, and the child caught in the middle. It's an archetype we've seen again and again. Think about it. When Kanye spiraled over Kim letting Pete Davidson kick it with the kids, it wasn't about ice cream runs or corny jokes. In Ye's eyes, another man around his babies was straight up disrespect. Period. Or look at Diddy's empire. Multiple women, multiple kids, multiple egos all under one roof, and somehow it still plays out in the spotlight. Mess doesn't even begin to cover it. Even Britney Spears had her custody war with Kevin Federline, who went as far as dropping videos of her yelling at the boys just to sway public opinion. This playbook is old, but every time it hits the culture, the drama feels brand new. So when Russell Wilson steps up in full stepdad of the year mode, the streets split fast. One side clapping it up, calling him the model of manhood, while the other side screams he's overstepping into a role that ain't his. They calling Russell the blueprint. This is how you love a woman and her child. No ego, no excuses, just straight commitment. Folks see baby Future rocking Seahawks jerseys on the sidelines, Russell cheering like that's his own blood, and they swoon like it's a fairy tale. But flip the coin, and the whispers get louder. Is Russ doing too much? Is he stepping so deep into the role that he's erasing Future's position as the biological dad? Because let's be real, in some circles, this adoption talk ain't family goals, it's beef bait. Now here's the devil's advocate spin. Maybe Future ain't just being petty. Maybe, in his own twisted way, he's fighting for identity. Imagine being a father, messy history or not, and hearing your firstborn now carries another man's last name. Maybe even his legal claim. That hits deeper than child support receipts ever could. And if we're being honest, Future's whole rap persona is stitched together from ego, legacy, and being the father of many. So when Ciara locks in with Russell, that move slices straight at the heart of his brand. But now let's flip it again. Maybe this ain't about ego at all. Maybe it's about protection. Ciara's been open about the pain from her split with Future, about how she had to choose peace and stability over chaos. Russell's entire image is built on faith, family, and football. So adopting or not, locking that family unit down is their way of sending a message. Baby Future's foundation is unshakable. To Future the rapper, it might look like betrayal. But to Ciara, it's insurance, it's security, it's peace for her son. So what's the truth? Depends on which lens you choose to look through. And this is where the culture clash explodes. Because the court battle ain't the only fight happening, the internet is its own courtroom. On one side, you got Ciara's supporters screaming she leveled up, turned heartbreak into happiness, and gave her son the stability every kid deserves. They flood her comments with crowns and "Queen, protect your peace" emojis. To them, Russell adopting Baby Future is the fairy tale ending to a toxic chapter. But slide to Future's corner, and his hive is riding hard. They're calling Russ a clout chaser, saying no matter how many jerseys or birthday cakes he buys, he can't erase bloodline. They argue Future don't gotta post polished pictures to prove he's daddy, cause the DNA already stamped it, and they're quick to remind folks, Future's legacy ain't just one son, it's a dynasty of kids tied to his name, and he won't let his firstborn be rewritten. Now here's where it gets even wilder. The gossip blogs. They ain't picking sides, they fanning the flames. Headlines screaming, Future fights for his son on Monday. Then Russell Wilson, dad of the year by Wednesday. The clicks are endless and every outlet spins the story to fit whatever narrative sells. Meanwhile, the people caught in the middle, Baby Future himself and the legacy both men are trying to carve through him. Because this ain't just a family drama anymore, it's cultural symbolism. Rap ego versus NFL discipline, chaos versus consistency, toxic past versus polished future. And the scariest part, this story's nowhere near over. With legal filings, PR spin, and fan wars stacking higher by the week, the next chapter could flip everything on its head. Future's legacy in music, locked in forever, the man got undeniable classics. But his legacy as a father, that's what's really on trial here, and the streets already pick sides. The irony cuts deep. While Future drags Ciara into court, the internet been dragging him even harder. Fans keep pointing out the obvious. Russell been daddy number one in Baby Future's life since the boy was still in diapers. And let's keep it real. The culture don't remember paperwork, it remembers pictures. And in every single photo, it's Russell holding that child's hand. Russell on the sidelines, Russell showing up like it's his blood. That's the image burned into people's minds, not legal filings. So what's next? Court hearings, messy headlines, and probably another round of subliminals flying on Instagram. But the real fight ain't in family court, it's in the history books. Because years from now, when Baby Future's old enough to tell his own story, the question will be simple. Will he say his father fought for him, or will he say another man raised him? And that right there is the twist nobody can ignore. Future might walk out the courtroom with a legal win, but in the eyes of the culture, Russell already claimed the narrative and stamped it down. So stay tuned, because this saga is far from over. And if you want to keep getting the tea on the biggest celebrity scandals, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Public Secrets.